Hello, Flindy friends. So, those of you who've been around with the channel for a little bit know that I'm a huge D&D fan. Played it for several years, and so today I figured we discuss one of the biggest things going on in D&D right now, which is the Legend of Vox Machina on Amazon. And by biggest thing, I mean, the biggest positive thing. We're not going to get into the OGL license and all the drama that's come with that, and probably still coming. But anyway, back to the important thing. If you love D&D or just want a really good adult-style animated adventure, this is really the show for you. It's based off the extremely popular Critical Role web series, which has taken the geek culture by storm, due in no small part to the amazing talent behind it, as well as their genuine and likable personalities. Before we begin, there will be some slight spoilers for season 2, so be warned. Though I will do my best not to go too in depth with what's actually going on in this season, because I really want you to go and watch it for yourselves. So, first off, just talking about this season, we're going to talk about the animation itself. This show is, to me, absolutely gorgeous. The first season was beautiful, but it definitely feels like everything has been ramped up this season in all the best ways. One thing that I actually like, which may be off-putting to some, is the CGI used for the monsters in this. Personally, when I first saw it, I wasn't a big fan. I didn't know how I felt with it, but this season, seeing more of these monsters, the dragons, sphinxes, and other sort of giant monstrosities that don't feel natural to the world, the CGI actually, to me, works pretty well. Because it's a different art style, it is kind of off-putting to see at first, and it does make these creatures stand out more. It does make them feel more alien to this world, or just more extraplanary, I guess is the best way to describe it. In some cases, these beings just don't vibe with the rest of the area, and I like that. The CGI does make them stand out more, and I think it's a clever decision to use it in these specific areas. They're not overusing it for every scene, they're mainly saving it for the bigger creatures, and I think that's a clever use of it. Monstrosities aside, we also get to see far more of Exandria this season, as well as a brief glimpse into another realm. Once more, this artwork and direction is just absolutely spot on, giving us a realm that makes no sense and is somehow both whimsical and absolutely terrifying all in one. While also delving through the freezing mountain peaks of Fiery Volcano, and even a moving rendition of an 80s power ballad. The art's all over the place, but it really works in these scenarios. Each landscape feels unique and different, yet still plausible based upon the world that we've seen and the creatures and beings that we've experienced so far. It's just done really well, and you can tell that the people are very enthusiastic and very well versed in the world of Critical World and Exandria. You can tell that they took their time really creating these places and figuring out how they should function and how they should work. And that's really appreciated from someone who's just observing it on screen. Next, we have to talk about the stories in this season. We get a lot more backstory for the characters, which is beautifully done, and moments that truly can't help but make you really feel something. I just, they hurt. That's what they do. They hurt. Like here.
Oh, you don't understand. You don't need me. I need. Do not go far from me. I won't. I swear it.
Whereas the first season definitely focused on Percy's backstory and we had little hints about the others, this season is very much focusing on the rest of the Motley crew and setting up events for later seasons, which hopefully there will be many of. While they did tone down and streamline some of the stories from the original game, you have to give them props considering how they are having to handle hundreds of hours of content for episodes that are, only 20 minutes long. Yes, some beats are predictable, and it does carry forth a few tropes that you expect to see in these worlds, but that doesn't mean these tropes aren't done absolutely beautifully here. From the scene before where Vex and Vax are talking, you already have a good idea of what's going to come, and it's foreshadowed pretty heavily, but that doesn't mean the scene still doesn't break your heart. You still feel this moment, and you still feel these characters' pain, and like I said, even though you see it coming, it doesn't help to soften the blow any. One of the moments in this series, which truly had my blood pumping, was a fight scene that came right before the finale. If there is one criticism I can really give this show, it's that the fight scene versus a horde, at least to me, was so much more emotional and powerful than the one of the season's finale boss. Yes, the final boss is a good fight scene and has some really good moments, really good character growth, and the scene at the end with Scanlan and Vax, just really, really well done. But if you're talking about which fight scene I was rooting for, which fight scene I was more engaged with, and just was more excited for, that's definitely the Horde one. Now, I will forgive this because I don't know how you would top the Horde fight. I mean, it is set up perfectly, and the payoff is exactly what you want it to be. From seeing the gang reunited to Scanlan's rock number and finally Grog's Pokeball moment, it's been a long time since I felt so thrilled to watch a fight scene and so elated to see so much gore. It's, like I said, it's just really well done. The last bit is probably the shortest bit that I'm going to go over, and that's just the voice acting. I mean, it has always been top notch when you consider the pedigree of those who are performing, but it's so nice to hear guest players return to voice their characters and breathe new life into them. One of the behind the scenes things I was talking about was they were really enjoying playing coming back to some of their old characters, because whereas in the Critical Role show, they were having to introduce their characters to the party because they were jumping into someone else's story. Whereas in the animated show, it feels like the gang is more jumping into their story, and it was a different dynamic that they got to play that they really enjoyed. The characters as well, the original cast and crew who play these characters, also bring to it and show us just how much passion they have for these characters that they've played for years. You can hear it in their voice, just how much heartbreak there is in certain scenes, or how much hopelessness or rage, or just everything that they feel is expressed so perfectly. And you can't help but feel for what's evolving on the screen before you, because the art, the voice, everything brings it to that point where, yeah, you can't help but believe that these animated jerks are somehow going to save the world, despite all their many flaws, and you can't help but root for them either. There are key moments in this, such as when Percy triggers a vestige trap, when Caleb finally manages to walk through fire, and when Grog realizes where his true strength comes from. All these moments absolutely give me chills in a really good way. I mean, I think about these moments and they make you feel something, which is good because so much media today, at least for me personally, I sort of just consume and it's done. You watch it, you've processed it, and that's over. It's rare for me to have media that I get to consume and I get to see, and that makes me feel something and think about later on. And this show does a really good job of making you feel connected to these people and making you have those, oh my god, this is really happening moment. So, yeah, I'm just really looking forward to what's going to happen next. Vox Machina is returning for a season 3. And in a surprise update, we're also getting a Mighty Nine show as well. I didn't watch the first Vox Machina. I'll admit that's one of the Critical Role things that I didn't get into until the Mighty Nine. So I have a lot more of a connection to the Mighty Nine, and I'm really excited to see their story unfold. That being said, after seeing the first and second season of Legend of Vox Machina, I really want to check out the original podcast and the web series to kind of see what's more going on and what I might have missed compared to the show to what actually happened. Either way, this is hopefully the start of a new and even greater era for Critical Role. Long may they reign. That's all for now, and I will see you guys next time. And as always, if you like my ramblings, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps my small channel to grow. Anyway, take care, Flanny friends. Bye.